You finally surrendered. You said yes to God's will, expecting the heavy doors to swing wide open to a life of immediate peace and clarity. Instead, the ground began to shake. Long-standing relationships started to fracture, and the very opportunities you prayed for suddenly vanished. In the middle of that wreckage, a question takes root, one you're almost too afraid to ask. Did I do something wrong? Is this chaos proof that I missed His voice? You are experiencing the exact opposite. This instability isn't a penalty for failure. It's the immediate consequence of stepping into a high-stakes calling that the unseen realm takes seriously. Your choice to obey sent a ripple through the spiritual landscape, reconfiguring your presence in the unseen realm. You walked away from the old life, and something in the atmosphere noticed. This shift is why you're feeling an unexplainable heaviness and a sudden, sharp confusion, arriving at the very moment you thought you were finally moving in the right direction. To survive this season, you have to learn to read your life through a different lens. Think of it as a dictionary of heaven, a way to take the jagged lines of earthly setbacks and see the strategy hidden behind them. We need to explore a new way of seeing hardships. What feels like friction may actually indicate a much larger story unfolding. Consider the first sign, a sudden wave of spiritual warfare that has no logical physical source. You wake up drained, carrying a weight you can't quite name. When you look at this through a human lens, you feel weak. You start to believe you are cursed or that there is something fundamentally broken about your walk with God. Look at the spiritual reality. This warfare is confirmation. The calling on your life has been detected by an enemy that only attacks what it fears. They do not waste resources on empty targets. Your resistance measures your spiritual value. Then there is the second sign, the quiet, painful fading of friendships and relationships that you expected to stay for a lifetime. On the surface, this feels like total rejection. It's easy to misread the silence as being abandoned by people and forgotten by God. Look closer at the mechanics of your calling. This separation is a strategic move to clear the noise. God is shielding your development from outside voices that were never meant to speak into this specific process. History shows this pattern everywhere. David was sent to the fields. Joseph was cast into a pit. Their isolation wasn't a punishment. It was the only way to ensure they heard one clear guiding voice. Because the enemy knows he cannot stop your calling, he goes after your mind, planting anxiety in the space where your confidence used to be. Heaven isolates what it intends to elevate. These mental battles only happen because your peace is a strategic asset worth defending. Perhaps the most frustrating sign is the closed door. You prepared, you did the work, and yet the opportunity you were counting on fell through. You might find yourself asking if God changed His mind or if you somehow missed your window of opportunity. These delays are a form of divine protection. They prevent a premature promotion, placing you in a position you aren't built to handle. Stepping into a massive assignment without the internal architecture to sustain it would lead to collapse. God uses the delay to forge the character and strength required to carry the promise without breaking under its weight. There is one final piece of evidence, your refusal to quit. Despite the exhaustion and the doubt, you wake up every morning and try again. That resilience isn't coming from your personality or your willpower. It is the signature of the anointing God placed inside you, refusing to be extinguished. This is the dictionary of heaven. The warfare you face is confirmation. The isolation is preparation. And the closed doors were your protection. By walking through this crucible, you are moving beyond just holding a calling. You are possessing a spiritual authority that only comes from being battle-tested. Romans 8:18 reminds us that these present sufferings don't compare to the glory to be revealed in us. That glory isn't just a reward you receive. It is a weight of character built through the very hardships you've been enduring. Your life didn't fall apart the moment you decided to obey God. It finally began. Now, take a breath and trust the process.